front of your face, yeah?
It's already on. Good evening, One Wake. Good evening, One Wake family. Good evening, and as I always say when we host, welcome home. 2016, spring of 2016, members from Metro IEF came to St. Ambrose to meet in my office to dream about a county-wide organization. 4 years later, 2020, One Wake launches, and here we are now, 2025, some 9 years after that initial meeting. So whenever you're here, you are home. So welcome home. My name is Jamond Taylor, and I'm rector of St. Ambrose Church. Before I open in prayer, I just want to do an acknowledgement of land and labor. I acknowledge that the land where we are now is the ancestral land of the Tuscarora, the Catawba, and Siouan, the First Nations people. And also, right before the Civil War began in 1861, there were more than 100,000 enslaved black people in Wake County. So an acknowledgement of land and labor before we begin. Let us pray. Holy, holy, holy Lord, God of power and might. God, we give thanks that you are a God of power who does not wield power over people, but expresses power chiefly through love. We thank you for the relational power of One Wake, the power of people in relationship with people. We thank you that you have called together Wake County to dream, such that we may have response to the nightmare of the world as how we experience it. We thank you for continuing to nurture and grow our organization, this power organization. Be with us as we continue into 2025. Be with us this evening as we talk about the unhoused and how we can use our power to make housing more affordable. Guide our time together. Give us strength. Help us not lose heart. Let us keep the faith. This we ask in your divine and holy name. Amen. I invite Ms. Julia Daniels to come forward.
Thank you. Welcome. And thank you for you all for being here tonight. The goals of this annual meeting and internal action are to, 1, briefly acknowledge and celebrate our main accomplishments in 2024. 2, to formally recognize our new lead organizer. 3, ratify the proposed strategy team and annual budget for the 2025 previously shared by email with all members. 4, discuss our current focus and vision on affordable housing. And 5, decrease our power by making commitments for leadership training, launching a mega affordable housing team, and agreeing on a collective action. And next up will be Mrs. Nancy. Thank you.
Good evening, friends. Good evening. I'm Nancy Dilger, and I am the core team leader from St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church. It is my privilege to be with each of you here tonight. It's always good to be at St. Ambrose, and we appreciate you hosting us so much. I'm here to do the fun part of the program tonight, actually. I got the best part. We're here to acknowledge and to celebrate the key victories that we together won this year in 2024. You are One Wake, we are One Wake, we won these together. It's important to remember that these actions that were led to these important victories were all rooted in the aspirations and dreams of each of you. We all came together as members of One Wake, and we listened to over 2,000 of our neighbors from every corner of Wake County. And as a result of those listening campaigns, together we engaged in many collective actions, and together we won some very impressive changes for our beloved community. So thank you. Please allow me to share with gratitude and utter amazement what we together won. Number one, One Wake organized actions with our founding member, Dorcas Ministries. They partnered with Chatham Estates Neighborhood Association to win $800,000 from the town of Cary. These funds will assist these neighbors of ours when they become displaced because new development is moving in on that property. Next, One Wake, you, organized and won $538,000 for the Smart Ride microtransit program. It delivered 13,000 rides to Zebulon and Eastern Wake County low-income residents. Thank you. Next, One Wake supported the Raleigh Heart Coalition. They won $600,000 to launch a new alternate response pilot program called CARES for the Raleigh community. CARES will support our neighbors who are experiencing nonviolent mental and behavioral health crises. Thank you. Next, One Wake partnered with St. John's Metropolitan Community Church to win $3 million from Wake County to purchase a long sought-after permanent facility for a low-barrier drop-in shelter. This will support our unhoused neighbors. Thank you. And then you'll remember that One Wake organized the first affordable housing fund in Cary. Well, in 2024, we won an additional $5.8 million for that very fund. So far, that one win and that funding tool has garnered $21 million for affordable housing. One Wake also succeeded in attracting individual donors in 2004. Many of them are with us here tonight. Many are you. Thank you. We raised $43,439. $43,439. Sorry, it's a mouthful, which is a good problem to have. That's organized money that we all raised through Friends of One Wake individual donor campaign. Thank you. One Wake also trained 434 leaders from your member institutions in the concept and the power of making community change possible. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, in October, we all remember that One Wake held the largest public action ever. Over 1,000 leaders from your member institutions turned out. We hand-delivered over 8,000 signed petitions supporting future local affordable housing. One Wake demanded at that meeting and won the commitment to double the city's annual affordable housing funding to $70 million. We should all be very proud of what we accomplished together. It's us. And we give thanks to God. We give thanks to our organizers. We give thanks to our member institutions and to each other. We couldn't do it without every single one of you. So please, thank you so much for these great accomplishments. And I have one more little tidbit of organizational update. Many of you have had the pleasure of working with Stefan Whitley over the past few years, as I have with One Wake. His skills and community organizing experience have been a gift to One Wake. At this time, we are grateful to have Stefan step up into the role as lead organizer, where he brings his expertise and passion to work with us for the common good of all of us. So it is my honor to introduce Stefan Whitley as the new One Wake lead organizer.
Thank you, thank you. Y'all can sit down. Thank you very much, everyone. As was mentioned, for anyone who does not know me yet, my name is Stefan Whitley. I'm now the lead organizer with One Wake. Can everyone hear me fine? Great. It's a pleasure to be working with you all. I'm looking around a lot because I'm just looking at the different faces who I've met with, had one-on-one meetings with over the years. And those who I haven't met with, I'm looking forward to getting to meet with you and build relationships with you. A few things were said that I think are very important in terms of the work, my job as lead organizer, but also the work that we plan on doing collectively together. That is, one, that One Wake is not just an organization, it's a collective of you all coming together collectively to put together and make an organization. So as Nancy said, you are One Wake. She also mentioned that the wins that we had were not just from the organizer or the organization, but it was you all playing a major role in it. Without you all, there is no organizing. There is no wins to be gotten. And so I think that's very important. So I wanted you all to, again, give yourselves a round of applause. As a lead organizer, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know what an organizer was before I took the job, right? And a lot of people here probably didn't know not too long ago either. But my role as a lead organizer is to help develop our leaders, which is you all, to be co-organizers with me, right? This is your organization. This is important for you all to step forward. How can I help you? How can we build relationships, right? And so I want to continue to build relationship with you all, figure out how can we gain more power, how can we fill up bigger spaces with more people. What institutions are not a part of One Wake that should be a part of One Wake that you all might have relationships with? How can we strengthen your core teams and your institutions? And so I'm just really, really looking forward to getting to work with you all. I don't want to take up too much time. Again, thank you all, and I really appreciate everything, and I'm looking forward to working with you all this year. Next up, we have Jock Cottrell. Jock.
Yeah, good evening, One Wake family. My name is Jacques Cottrell, and I'm the core team leader at Carry First Christian Church. And I'm also one of the newest members of the strategy team. The strategy team develops proposals for the strategic organizing goals and plans of this organization, our organization, oversees financial responsibility, and evaluates personnel. Leaders of the strategy team must be part of an institution in good standing with One Wake. We must attend a 3-day or 7-day community organizing training, must be a primary leader, be able to move a network of at least 25 plus leaders, and must have taken part in public action. Last fall, One Wake made an open call for nominations for my membership for the strategy team. All nominations have been reviewed by the strategy team and have been included in the strategy team slate included in your handout. I just also want to mention that I'm one of the new members that's not a clergy. You know, what came from y'all was we wanted some representation on the strategy team of just lay people, and that's you looking at one of the lay people, you know. So at this time, I just like to for everybody to raise their hand to ratify the proposed slate that's in your handouts. All right, thank you very much, and just thank you for this power that we have. Next, I'd like to present Reverend Royce Hatchcock.
Good evening. My name is Royce Hathcock. I'm the pastor at Tapestry Church of the Nazarene, and I'm the executive director for Neighbor Outreach. I have the honor of being the co-chair this year with Reverend Lisa Yuboa on the strategy team. Tonight, I'm excited. I hope you are. And we have, my job tonight is to not preach a sermon. Everybody's worried about it back here. But I have 4 minutes, so I will use them. But I'm excited. I'm excited that there is all of us here together, and we listed out what happened last year. Millions of dollars of transportation and housing and movement of holding powerful people accountable to step up and do what needs to be done in our world. That's important, and it takes what we call organized people and organized money. And we do that together. So we currently have 47 institutions that pay dues, and that is our money. It's not the strategy team's money. It's not IAF's money. It is our money. And tonight, I'm proud that we have 47 institutions. And our goal this year is, what does it take to get to 60? Because we need to keep building our power to be able to organize all of Wake County. So I know you have ideas. I know you have people out there in other institutions that need to join this work. Isn't that right? Amen? Amen. All right, there we go. All right, so my job tonight is to present the budget to you. You have a handout, and similar to the slate, the budget proposal is based on 55% of our income from membership dues, individuals, and fundraisers. We call this hard money. Everybody say hard money. Hard money. And that money, as I said, is our own money. Whose money? Our money, that's right. That we use to support whatever we decide is our main priority. The budget also calls for 45% of our income from private foundations. We call this soft money because we depend on the priorities and grant cycles of others. This year, as was mentioned, we are proposing to grow our individual donor campaign. Last year, that was $43,439, I believe. And we are hoping to grow that to $50,000 in individual donations, and that is in this budget. Tonight, we are asking for general approval of this budget with the understanding that we will present and ratify a specific individual donor campaign proposal at our next internal assembly, which is already on your calendar, May 16th. We ask that you now raise your hand to ratify this proposed budget as recommended by the strategy team. Thank you very much. Now, Reverend Taylor will come up and do an exciting part of this assembly.
When I say whose house, you say God's house. Whose house? God's house. Whose house? God's house. Whose house? God's house. What happens when God's people don't have a house? going to tell you the St. Ambrose story. So we were founded in 1868, right after the end of the Civil War. We were founded in a time when the U.S. government, at least from South Carolina on the coast down to northern Florida, gave thousands, or rather leased thousands of acres of land to the formerly enslaved people. This was the 40 acres on the mule you've heard about. From 1865 to 1868, those emancipated people were given 3 years to work the land in order to own it outright. And in 3 years, they did that. And then in 1869, with President Johnson, who then pardoned the Confederates, the government changed its mind and asked for those thousands of acres back and took it. If we were to calculate the wealth today, if those black families had kept land from the Sea Isles of South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, it would be worth about $14 trillion. That's a lot of wealth lost. It's a lot of equity taken away. Well, as all that was happening, St. Ambrose was organizing, and in 1868, we got whose house? God's house. We built a God's house, wooden church, downtown, Smoky Hollow, and stayed there for about 30 years until the government sold our land from under us. So we had a church that was on land that we did not own. So what did the church do? We did what creative people do. We physically picked up our church, put it on logs, and rolled it a mile to Shaw University. Whose house? God's house. And we stayed there for 65 years until we moved here and found ourselves without a house again because we had torn down that part of God's house in the vineyard before we built this house, and so we worshiped at Fuller School. So St. Ambrose knows what it's like to be unhoused, because for 6 months as the church rolled down the street because the government sold our land from under us, we worship at Metropolitan Hall on Fayetteville Street. It's where the YMCA is, if you know that address, 227 Fayetteville Street. That's where we worshiped for 6 months, as we did not have a home. And so in 1965, when we did not have a home again, we worshiped at Fuller Elementary School. So being unhoused is not a theological exercise for us. It's a part of our lived experience. Now, I realize that there are some churches that don't have a house per se. They worship in gymnasiums and schools, and there is nothing wrong with that. But to have built a house, you didn't have your land sold from under you, and to be unhoused, that is an interesting experience that I don't want St. Ambrose to go through again. So as we talk about this home ownership to equity campaign, at least from my lens, it means something, because we have been unhoused where our house and God's house had to move location. And so we realize that there's a growing need for affordable housing in Wake County, including in Raleigh and Cary and other municipalities. And such a need stems from the confluence of several factors, primarily driven by rapid growth and economic shifts. And I want to highlight just some data. Wake County has experienced substantial population growth. Between 2010 and 2020, Wake County's population grew by more than 230,000 people. And this surge significantly pressures the housing market. It is estimated that Raleigh adds 64 people every day. Home prices and rental rates have risen significantly, exceeding income growth. According to reports, homes renting for under $1,000 a month have decreased, while those renting for over $1,000 a month have greatly increased. Specifically, the report shows that 3 out of 4 low-income households pay over 30% of their income on housing, more than 30%. That's not sustainable. Wake County has a large deficit of affordable housing units. Wake County reports that even though they have created and preserved over 3,500 homes since 2019, an affordable housing deficit of 65,000 units still exists. And it is estimated that around 900 people experience literal homelessness on any given night in Wake County, 1,000. So One Wake looks at this reality. We look at our power, and we want to make a change. And so we launched a Home Ownership to Equity campaign in direct response to this lack of affordable housing, particularly in the Black community. We're inspired by Metro IAF, our larger organization, and Nehemiah Housing Strategy, which has built more than 6,500 homes for first-time home buyers, creating $2 billion, that's B, billion dollars in wealth, and with a foreclosure rate of less than 1%. In New York, Jersey City, Baltimore, Chicago, Prince George's County, Philadelphia, Memphis, and Washington, D.C. It shows that what Nehemiah does is not an aberration, but rather a continuation, that to some respects geography does not matter. What are the key elements of a campaign, and how do we hope to replicate it? The Nehemiah strategy relies on One Wake's ability to mobilize large numbers of people to bring political pressure, generate urgency, and the ability of our leaders to take part in negotiations with both government and private sector entities over reduced prices of land and substances. We will be working on that tonight. A crucial aspect of Nehemiah's strategy involves securing access to publicly owned land. This can significantly reduce development costs, making homes more affordable. That is our goal. We have identified a large tract of land owned by both the City of Raleigh and Wake County. We believe that part of that land must be dedicated to the construction of affordable housing. Nehemiah Projects also considers various government funding and programs, and this includes federal tax and local grants, tax credit, low-interest loans. Another aspect of Nehemiah's model is the mobilization of financial commitments from within the IAF network of member institutions. Often these are faith-based organizations. This demonstrates a strong community investment in the project that provides crucial seed funding. This also provides a base of financial proof that it is very attractive to traditional financial institutions. To that end, during our 1,000-plus people action, we demanded that the city government double its investment in affordable housing from $30,000 to $70,000. We also took part in a statewide action with other North Carolina IAF affiliates and got commitments from the new governor, Josh Stein, to advocate for $160 million to be a part of the state budget. We must discuss among ourselves how to advance such a strategy. We have had some powerful initial conversations. Last year, we launched our campaign prior to the mayoral and city council elections in Raleigh. Over 20 candidates for mayor and city council in Raleigh attended our 1,000 people action. And during this meeting, every candidate who won election, let me repeat, every candidate who won election, I argue that this might be something of causation and just not correlation. Let me repeat, every candidate who won their election agreed to these demands: increase the budget for affordable housing to $70 million, work with One Wake to identify 100 acres of public land for us to build affordable housing, attend a tour of the Nehemiah development in New York, and with our sibling organization there that built 6,500 units of housing and created $2 billion in equity for mostly Black and brown families. Meet with us within the first quarter of this year, which we will soon be ending the first quarter, and attend an accountability assembly of One Wake to report and update on the progress they have made in fulfilling our demands. One lesson from this is perhaps anyone who is running for election needs to attend our assembly and agree to what we say. It might be a path to whatever seat of office you desire. So on the county government side in February, 200 members, and many of you were there, 200 members packed a Wake County Commissioners meeting that does not normally have that many people. 200 packed Wake County Commissioners meeting to call for nearly a 100% increase in affordable housing funding and the identification of the 100 acres of public land for development. We also have been at several meetings with county commissioners discussing the need for the Wake County government to pass its first ever housing bond. We believe that everybody deserves housing, that speaks to human dignity. And we are working to make sure that that happens. Know that our officials are listening. We just need to make them take action. It's good to hear. It's better to hear and do. I invite my brother, Reverend Wesley, to come up as he leads us in an update on the affordable housing work in Cary.
Good evening. It's good to see you all tonight. I always love to be here at St. Ambrose. Here to update you on what's going on in Cary, because Cary has been working hard on affordable housing. One of the ways that we are pursuing affordable housing is putting up some of our own institutions' own land for housing. Where I work at Greenwood Forest Baptist Church in Cary, we have decided to take half of our land and make it available for the building of affordable housing. Not only will this development have 62 units of affordable housing in the heart of Cary, it will also have a place for early childhood education and nonprofits centered on the empowerment of working homeless families with children through the Caring Place. This will be called the Timothy Ash Carr Center after one of our dearly departed core team members at Greenwood Forest Baptist Church who championed this project. One Wake has already been supportive of this project so far, showing up at community meetings, showing up at the public hearing, and we have one more step to clear the regulatory path for the Carr Center to provide this affordable housing. On April 10th at 6:30 p.m., we need to show our power one more time at the Cary Town Council to let them know that this project has more community support than could ever be against it. If we're going to show our power and build the power to have Nehemiah come here and build thousands of units of affordable housing, let's show Wake County that we know how to build right now. So we're looking, I originally said 50. But Stefan told me I should ask for 100. So we're looking for 100 of you to show up with us on April 10th at that Cary Town Council meeting at 6:30 to watch the Cary Town Council approve our plans. And afterwards, we're all going to go celebrate at Bond Brothers Brewery afterwards, and you are all invited. We're just going to project that that's going to be positive, and we received unanimous support from the Planning and Zoning Board, so it's going to be a good night, and I think we're going to have some fun. Additionally, on May 18th, we're going to invite you to another party at our church where we're going to build all this and kick off fundraising for it, so stay tuned for more details on that. And all of this, I have to say on a personal level, is why we do One Wake. Because One Wake is not an external organization that our churches just partner with. The work at my church would not be possible without the community that we have in One Wake. We would not be able to do what has already been done in Cary without what we have done through One Wake. I've talked to politicians, to town staff, in the municipal government in Cary, and all of them say the climate for affordable housing in Cary right now is due to One Wake. So thank you. So when it seems the world is going crazy, we have to remember that we have power in what we do, and we have power here, and we're going to show it. We'll also have elections in Cary in the fall, and we plan to center our get out the vote for those elections around affordable housing and host a candidate assembly. That's far enough off. I'm not going to make you commit to that tonight. What I do want all of us in this room to commit to tonight, though, are the immediate concerns of affordable housing in Cary. We heard about the victory that we won in Cary with stable homes and the town dedicating $800,000 to making sure that we can help folks relocate who are displaced in Cary. We know that our neighbors at Chatham Estates are going to be subject to displacement. There's a buyer, there are plans that they're trying to draw up. It is coming. So we need to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with our Chatham Estates members to hold the town accountable to its promises and make sure that nobody's holding the purse strings tightly on that $800,000. So we need to be there for our neighbors who are a member institution of One Wake, because we are all One Wake. So we need to stay in solidarity with each other. That is what's going to happen in Cary this year, and I will now invite my dear friend, the Reverend Dr. Rose Cornelius, to lead us through the commitments our institutions are going to make. Rose?
Good evening, One Wake. Well, One Wake, we've managed to accomplish quite a bit in our short history. I'm so proud to be a founding co-chair of this great movement. Together, we are transforming Wake County to be a more compassionate and considerate place to live. We gather not to represent the most powerful and wealthy in Wake County, but people who face daily struggles to survive. People who are some of the hardest working people in our community, some of whom have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to keep a roof over their heads. Our fight for them is never ending because there are always people who want to profit from keeping other people poor and underpaid, undereducated, improperly housed. We are here to provide our struggling neighbors some leverage, power, and voice. And in this moment in our nation's history, where many hearts are trembling due to the threats by the wealthiest and the most powerful, I encourage everybody in here not to be weary in well-doing, for you will reap if you faint not. Amen? Amen. Amen. You know, I've been a part of this organization almost since the inception. And I want to commend our friends at Greenwood Forest Baptist Church, because at one point we challenged our church leaders. We said, we need to be the ones who set the example. Look among yourselves if you have extra land that we can build on. Let's do that. Let's offer it. And Greenwood Forest Baptist Church and Cary was one of the first to raise their hands and say, we have a part of a building that's not being used. We would love to have that occupied as affordable housing. So let's give Greenwood Forest Baptist Church a hand. I recently retired as the president of the Morrisville Chamber of Commerce, but before that, I was development director at Dorcas Ministries for 8 years. Dorcas serves tens of thousands of poor people in Cary, of all places, one of the wealthiest municipalities in North Carolina. But tens of thousands of people turn to Dorcas Ministries for help with rent, utilities, clothing, all types of needs. And you know, we were part of listening sessions. We heard a lot of people. We wanted to hear what keeps you up at night. We heard all sorts of heartbreaking stories. Some of the most heartbreaking was from senior citizens. And some of those senior citizens, their Social Security check was not enough to cover all their bills every month. So they would have to come to the food pantry at Dorcas Ministry regularly to eat. Yeah. We heard heartbreaking stories of seniors who were just trying to pay their rent. And a lot of those seniors couldn't afford to go into places like some of the exclusive retirement centers. I won't name them, but some of them you have to pay $250,000 just to get in, and then you pay about $6,000 a month to stay at. And they're putting them up all over the triangle. But still, there are so many seniors who are barely getting by. We also heard stories from single moms with children. Children need shoes almost every other month, don't they? Have you priced shoes lately? Not the ones from Walmart and Target, the ones that'll last. Have you priced those lately? We heard from them and how some of them were working 2 or 3 jobs, which meant they were taking time away from their children to keep a roof over their head. And you know, you have to think about that. When moms or dads are away from the home, those children are open to all sorts of threats because usually they have to be babysat by people. So you increase the degree of threat to the child when their parent is not with them. And yet we have the wealthiest trying to get more wealthy and make the poor among us more poor. So our fight is never ending. And we are here to provide our struggling neighbors some power. One way cannot do it without people like you and me in our institutions. And by the way, I noticed there are some pastors in the group. Could the pastors and ministers stand up? We want to acknowledge you. I thank you for leading by example. It is important. Thank you for showing up. Thank all of you for showing up. I acknowledge Karen Morant, who is over Wake County Human Services, Western Wake County. Stand up, Karen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for caring enough to show up. And thank all of you for caring enough to show up. There's no substitute to showing up. No substitute. You have power. And where the Bible says where one can put 1,000 to flight, 2 can put 10,000 to flight, what could we do in here? We have power. If we could move Cary, that's a modern day miracle, people. Cary, who basically told us we don't really want to have affordable housing here. If we could move Cary to build affordable housing, and by the way, a few months ago, they invited me to a groundbreaking of an affordable housing project that's near the corner of Maynard and Walnut. They're putting in something right alongside of that McDonald's. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. And there's more to come. More money being put toward things like that. And when we talk about Nehemiah, yes, we want the 40, 50, 60 units, but we also want to establish affordable housing communities. I wish I could have taken all of you to visit the Nehemiah Project in New York. It was like being on this side of heaven. Block after block after block of affordable housing. Neighbors coming out to greet us, smiling. Low crime or no crime. No abandoned cars. Flowers everywhere. We were able to tour one of the units. And the couple there, an older couple, said, we never would have been able to afford this. We were both working 2 jobs and barely paying rent in New York. And when this opportunity opened up for us, we were able to come in and pay this off in 15 years. A miracle! And now we have some wealth to pass on to our children. That's what we're talking about. So we are combined to make one of the most influential and impactful forces for the poor and marginalized in Wake County. And now, there are some things that you and I can do to help our continued forward movement. You've heard of some of them. In order for us to continue to do what we do, we need for more of us to be trained on how to properly negotiate with politicians and developers and other people in power. We need more of us to be trained on how we can best organize and get more people, more institutions involved in this work. We have about 50. What could we do if we had 100? And I challenge every pastor, every leader in here, you know of 2 or 3 other churches that need to be a part of this. I challenge you to go out and tell them about One Wake. I challenge every pew sitter to recruit people in the pews to show up at our next actions. We need them. So we need more people trained. And in the next several months, there are opportunities for us to get training. You know, when we started this work, we didn't know what we were doing. We would meet with politicians. They'd be staring at us, and we'd be staring at them. And now they kind of tremble when we come around. You know, at first, they weren't picking up our calls. Now they pick up our calls. They pick up our calls. They have our meeting. It's no hesitation because of our reputation and what we've been able to accomplish working together. So, over the next few months, there's some opportunities that I want to see you all at. I'm going to try to make every one of them. First of all, there's a 3-day leadership training program. It's intensive. April the 3rd, 4th, and 5th at United Church of Chapel Hill. It's going to be a deep dive into organizing and leading. You need to be there so you can learn negotiation skills, so you can learn how to lead people and movements. You need to be there so you can have an effective voice, so we can invite you to conversations with politicians and developers and other people in power. So that's the first opportunity for training. Another one is a strategy session on affordable housing. We need at least 5 people per institution to show up there so that you can learn how we can win more victories in this campaign. That's going to be on May 17th, on a Saturday from 9 to 12. Put it on your calendars. I want to see you all there. Then on April 10th, we will go and show up en masse to support rezoning that Greenwood Forest needs to build that affordable housing. How many are going to be with me there? All right. Good. And get some other people that you know to come with you. Okay? And then last but not least, we need turnout to hold our politicians accountable for what they promised us when they were. Superintendent of schools will be there at that meeting on July 12th at 12 p.m. Will you be there? Let's hold their feet to the fire. Now, we're going to have a few minutes to caucus. If you're here with members of your institution, I want you to get together. We're going to give you about 10 minutes to caucus on turnout for these 4 events. You should have a blue sheet of paper. We just need one person to record, and one person will come up to the front from each institution and report on what your turnout will be. We're starting now. I'll say it about 3 minutes after 8. We'll end it, we'll call it, and we're going to call those leaders forward to report on each institution. So let's caucus.
Dr. Rose,
Yes.
ask them to put their name.
Please put your name and your contact, your email address, your name and the institution on the blue sheet before you turn it back into us. Thank you.
Yeah, Bree and Jay.
Someone said the dates and times are not on your blue sheet, so if somebody could write these dates and times down. The leadership training is April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and that's all day, all of those days. The strategy session, item number 2, is May 17th from 9 to 12. That's Saturday, May 17th from 9 to 12. The April 10th meeting is in the evening at the Cary Town Council. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. That's usually on a Tuesday night. It's what? 6:30. 6:30. And then on July 12th, that is on a Saturday, that's at 12 noon, that we'll be meeting with our elected officials. I hope that helps. Watts Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Raleigh.
Yeah, he's trying to. The temptation is always to put more in the shit. He's learned the lesson. So if you don't have people here to talk to, but they like him still. So I always try to put under. Yeah, they need to do that. They do. Yeah. Down there on a yacht, what are you up to?
One more minute. All right, let's regather ourselves and give us a report. One person from each institution, please come forward. Make sure you have the name, your name on the blue sheet, your contact information, and the name of your institution. And we're going to gather up front here. Nancy, if you could, we're going to be gathering up front here. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation.
Just a handheld mic.
There you go. Okay, let's give everybody our attention. Let's put it up front so we can hear the reports. Our first institution, please. Come forward to the microphone. Speak into the microphone. Thank you.
Okay. Paul Nelson with Ecclesia Church at Raleigh.
We cannot hear you, so speak a little bit more into the microphone, please. Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. Okay. Paul Nelson with Ecclesia Church at Raleigh. We are pledging 2 for the 3-day training, 4 for the strategy session, 5 for the Cary City, or the Cary Council meeting at Greenwood Forest, 5 for the accountability meeting.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'll take a card. Yes.
That's much, thank you. Boyd Rogers, Pullman Memorial Baptist. We have a conflict with the three-day training session, so we're not pledging anyone to that, but we're pledging 5 people to the strategy session in May, 8 to the Cary Town Council meeting, and 15 to the accountability meeting in July.
All right. Thank you.
Stan Martin with Raleigh Mennonite Church, and we have schedule conflicts with all of these dates, actually. So we're not able to commit anybody for the 3-day. We're saying 4 for the strategy session on May 17, 1 for the Cary Council, and 4 for the accountability meeting on July 12th.
Yay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda Velto from Good Shepherd UCC in Cary. We are committing 3 to the leadership training, 2 to the strategy session, 20 for the Cary Town Council meeting. We'll get them there. And 15 at the accountability meeting.
Wow. Thank you.
Mary Kent's from St. Paul's Episcopal in Cary, and we can get 2 people for the 3-day leadership. We'll pledge 5 for the strategy session, 20 for the Cary Town Council meeting, and 8 for the accountability meeting.
Yay.
Roger Adema from Raleigh Vineyard. We have no one committed yet for the leadership training. We have 4 for the strategy session. We have 3 for the Cary Council meeting, and we have 6 for the accountability meeting.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Meredith Rawls with Southeast Raleigh Table. We have 3 for the 3-day leadership training, 5 for the strategy session on affordable housing, 4 for the Cary Town Council meeting, and 5 for the accountability meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Julia. Father, you got it. Julia Daniels with St. Ambrose Episcopal Church. We don't have any at this point for the 3-day leadership training. Our strategy session, we have 3. For the Cary Council meeting, we have said 10, and accountability meeting, 10.
Yay.
I get too comfortable with this. Good evening, Karen Holmes Morant with Pleasant Grove Church in Cary. For the 3-day leadership, 3, strategy session, 5, Cary Council, 10, and also the accountability, 10.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lawrence Sneed with Friendship Chapel Baptist Church in Wake Forest. On the 3-day leadership, 3. On the strategy session 3, the Cary Council meeting 3, and the accountability meeting 3.
Yay, yay, thank you.
Carla Diener with St. Francis United Methodist Church in Cary. We have conflicts with the first 2, but we're going to try and bring 2 people to the strategy session. We'll bring 10 to the Cary Council meeting and 5 to the accountability meeting.
Thank you. Woohoo!
Good evening, Chris Olson with the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Raleigh. For the 3-day leadership training, we're going to commit 2 people. For the strategy session, 5 people. For the Cary Council meeting, 15. And we got some work to do, but for the accountability meeting, we're going to bring 100 people.
Whoa, what? Wow.
That's tough to follow. Mark Zainadine with West Raleigh Presbyterian Church. At this point, we don't have anybody committed to the 3-day training. We will commit 4 people to the strategy session, 8 to Cary Council, and 7 to the accountability meeting.
Yay. Fantastic.
I'm Mary Margaret Eckhart from Macedonia United Methodist in Cary. Can't come up with anybody right now for 3-day leadership training, but 5 for the strategy session, 10 for the Carytown Council, and 10 for the accountability meeting.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Becky Showalter. I'm with Church and Nativity Episcopal Church in North Raleigh. We have 1 for the 3-day training, 5 for the strategy session on affordable housing, 3 for Cary Council meeting, and 15 for the accountability meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Connie Orender with White Plains United Methodist Church in Cary, and we may be able to get a couple of people for the 3-day training session. We too have conflicts with that date, but we can get 5 for the strategy session on affordable housing. For the Carytown Council meeting, I think we can get 10 or more, but I put 10. And the accountability meeting in July, we're going to shoot for 6.
Thank you. Yay.
I'm Nathan Bullock with Greenwood Forest Baptist Church. For the 3-day leadership training, we're pledging 2. For the strategy session, 5. For the Carytown Council meeting, 45. And
Woo!
for the accountability meeting, 15.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Stan Jones with the Fountain of Raleigh. And for the 3-day leadership training, we're committing 2. To the strategy session on affordable housing, 5. For the Cary Council meeting, 5. And for the accountability meeting, 5.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Mary Jane Selgrade, Christ the King Lutheran in Cary. For the 3-day leadership training, we're pledging 1 or 2. We already have about 10 that are trained. So,
Oh, showing off. They're just showing off.
For the strategy meeting, 15. For the Carytown Council, 20. And for the accountability meeting, 10.
Thank you.
Good evening, Casey Slock from the Catholic Community of St. Francis of Assisi. For the 3-day leadership training, 1. For the strategy session, 6. For the Cary Council meeting, 2. And for the accountability meeting, 8.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Elisa Walper, Temple Bethor, and we're going to aim to have 2 to 3 people for the strategy session, the Cary Council meeting, and the accountability meeting in July.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sarah Kramer with Common Thread Church. Right now we can't commit to the 3-day leadership training, but we will bring 5 to the strategy session, 3 to the Cary Council meeting, and 5 to the accountability meeting.
Wow,
Thank you.
thank you.
Jacques Cottrell, Cary First Christian Church. The 3-day leadership training, 1. The strategy session on affordable housing, 2. 3 each for the Cary Council meeting and the accountability meeting on July 12th.
Thank you, Carrie First.
I'm Royce Hathcock from Tapestry Church of the Nazarene, neighbor. We're doing 1, 5, 5, and 10.
Amen. Wonderful, wonderful. Is that everyone? So can we give a count? Have we been keeping count? All right. Who has a calculator?
We can do this together.
Okay.
We call this and close to here. Do you want me to have this?
We don't have a tally of all these, do we? We don't have a tally.
Okay. We'll add it, yeah.
Well, I'll add it.
Should I sing a song while we're waiting? I don't know.
I'm gonna speak to something. Hello, everyone, again. Good evening. Again, thanks everyone for coming. I heard everyone's pledges. I'm encouraged by a lot of it. I also want to speak to a few things. In the work that we do, nothing changes what we understand that people don't just change things because it's the right thing to do, the folks who are in power, right? Unfortunately, even those who we vote in to work for us, right, to do the things that we care about, to work towards the issues we care about, oftentimes they don't do things because it's the right thing to do. They do them because it's in their self-interest. Elected officials can count. That's why we do the work we do of turning folks out, because they understand numbers. That's how they get in office, correct? So we've turned out 1,000 people in October, right, to watch Chapel Church, and I'm sure many of you were there. Since then, as Dr. Rose spoke about, we've gotten great recognition throughout these last 4 years of organizing that we've done. None more, in my opinion, than after that 1,000-person action. People are really taking us seriously, right? After that 1,000-person action, we asked the elected officials, the mayor, those who are running for mayor as well as city council members, would they go to the Nehemiah tour? Would they meet with us on the first portion of the year, the first quarter of the year? And all of them said yes. Well, in December, as soon as Mayor Janet Cowell won her election, she reached out to us and met with us in December, days after signing in. That's recognition, right? She then reached out to us as soon as January started and said, hey, I'm ready to go tour Nehemiah. And 5 of her city council members were coming as well, so much so that we had to book two dates because we didn't want to have a conflict in terms of too many elected officials being in one, having a quorum, right? Now, this is a good problem, correct? But I think it's important to understand the why. Why are they showing up? Why are they responding to us in this way? It's because of the work we've been doing. It's because of that 1,000-person action. And what we like to think of as recognition in the work that we do. We talk of bringing the world as it is closer to the world as it should be. And in order to be able to do that, we need to create tension oftentimes, a good tension, right? And that's what the work we try to do. I'm going to give some internal tension right now. I heard a lot of folks, especially our folks for Cary, I'm hearing self-interest. I'm hearing good numbers for the Cary action. And then I'm hearing a lesser number for the assembly in July. Think of the 1,000 people that we had in October. That's the same thing we want to do in July, on July 12th. Even though you may find more self-interest in going to the Cary meeting because you care more about Cary, that's where you are. Understand that elected officials are paying attention. This is your organization. One Wake is your organization. And so if you can get 30 people to Cary, you should be able to get 30 people to an assembly that is statewide. We're also going to invite the mayor and others from Cary, from other municipalities. Okay? Is this making sense? Yes. I think that we have to have a bit of a swagger about us as One Week. right? That we are, right? And when you say we are, it's like, how many people here played sports growing up or cheerleaded or whatever the case was, or just cared about your school's football or basketball team? You had a spirit about it, right? A we. That's the same spirit we need to have with One Wake. Is this making sense? And so I want you all to go back into your institutions. And I heard the numbers that everyone put forth, but I hope that we will hear folks, when I reach back out or reach out to me, say, hey, we actually want to up those numbers. Okay? With that being said, Dr. Rose has the numbers. Thank you all.
And what we have here, I'm so proud of you all. For our leadership training, we have 37, that 3-day training, 37 people so far committed. The strategy session on affordable housing on May 17th, we have 116 committed. The April 10th meeting to support the rezoning of Greenwood Forest to affordable housing, and that's on April 10th. We have 211 people. And then for our challenge to turn out to hold our politicians, statewide and local, accountable for the promises that they made to us during the election. We have 284 people committed. I think that's wonderful, but I think you know we can do even better. We can do better. We can do better, and we will do better. We have power in this room. Who knew that just a few of us could cause affordable housing to be built all over the triangle? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew that just a few of us could get taxes reduced or held in place by struggling homeowners who live in neighborhoods where homes are going up, $1 million homes are going up? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew we could get a white flag shelter established for homeless people so that they can come in from the cold? Who knew? These are just some of the few things that we've done in our short time of being together. We can make a difference in Wake County. We are making a difference in Wake County. People like you and people like me. And working together, possibilities are endless. I commend you for showing up in the storm. I commend you for coming out with everything going on politically and economically, because some of us are stressed out. We don't even want to watch the news anymore. But you know what? Somebody's got to watch the news. Somebody's got to show up. Some of us have got to be strong. It's a time to lean into your faith and lead and be fearless. We have God on our side. That's all we need. And with God on our side, nothing is impossible for us to accomplish. Nothing is impossible for us to accomplish. With that, I think we adjourn. I bid you all adieu. Until next time, God bless you all.
I saw your engineering.
I know my engineering is coming back.
Very good.